Hi friends, we're back again and we're reading chapters 5 and 6 of The Haunted Library. So just a quick recap, chapters 3 and 4 is what we read last time. And that's where Kaz discovered that Claire can actually see him. And she followed him around, and there's another ghost that lives in the library as well. And so at the end of the chapter 4, where we left off, Kaz started speaking to Claire, and it turns out that Claire can see ghosts, and Kaz isn't the first ghost that Claire has seen. And she has also seen Finn, Kaz's older brother. See, so there we are right there. So now we're going to leave things at chapter 5. And it's called No Such Thing as Ghosts. Claire clutched her book to her chest, grabbed her bag, and hurried to the open door. The whole library was dark. Kaz swam into the entryway. He moved much faster in the dark than Claire did. He was used to darkness. His old haunt was very dark. Those hot things in the ceiling lit up, and the library became bright again. A small crowd had gathered in the entryway. "I saw it," cried a solid boy in a striped shirt. "I saw the library ghost." Squinting in the bright light, Kaz looked around. Solids could only see ghosts when they were glowing, but ghosts could see other ghosts all the time. Kaz didn't see any other ghosts. "I saw it too," said a solid girl in pigtails. "So did I," said another solid boy wearing glasses. "It was right there." "Right where?" Claire asked as she opened her book. "There." The boy with the glasses pointed at the air above the sprawling floor plan next to the spiral staircase. "Henry," said a lady who was probably the boy's mother, "you know there's no such thing as ghosts." "No such thing as ghosts?" That was like saying there was no such thing as solids. "Maybe you saw a shadow behind the plant," the mother went on. "It wasn't a shadow," Henry stuck out his bottom lip. "It was a ghost. It was floating above the plant, up by the ceiling. You could see right through him." "We all heard him moan," the girl in pigtails said. "Shadows don't moan." "And they don't turn off the lights," said the boy in the striped shirt. Kaz drifted among the solids. The ghost man, Beckett, had passed through the bookcase and hadn't returned. So who had these kids seen? Finn, he thought. Who else? But where did Finn go? "This isn't the first time someone has seen a ghost in this library," Grandma Karen said in a mysterious voice. "That's right," said a very old solid as she hobbled over with her crane. It was the same lady who had gotten mad at Claire for running in the library earlier. "I used to own this house," the older solid said in a croaky voice. "Back before it was a library. I had a small apartment here on the first floor, and I rented out the rest of the house. We saw ghosts here all the time back then. It was hard to keep renters. When Mrs. Lindstrom said she wanted to buy the place, turn the first floor into a library, and live on the second floor, I was happy to sell it to her." "Well, I don't believe there are any ghosts here," said Henry's mother. "Kids, let's go check out books. It's time to go home." The old woman and all the other solids, except for Claire, walked away. "That Beckett," Claire shook her head as she wrote some more in her book. "What about him?" Kaz asked. "I don't know why he keeps coming out, and what was that word you used before? Glow? I don't know why he keeps glowing around all those little kids. He must like to scare them." Kaz drifted in a circle around Claire. "I don't think Beckett is the ghost they saw. I think they saw my brother Finn." Claire looked confused. "The guy in your book?" Kaz said, pointing. "We were just talking about him." "Oh, him?" Claire said. "I haven't seen him in more than a month. I don't think he's even here anymore." "Well, we know those solids," Don't say solids, Claire interrupted. I'm Mookie. Okay, those kids, Kaz corrected. We know they didn't see me, and they couldn't have seen Beckett. He went back behind the bookcase. So there's got to be another ghost here. I think that ghost is my brother Finn. Claire shook her head. If there was another ghost here, I would know it. Beckett's been doing this forever. Like I said, I think he likes to scare little kids. But wouldn't we have seen him come back through the bookcase, said Kaz. Not if he went through a different wall. That didn't seem possible to Kaz. If Beckett had passed through a different wall, he would have been in the outside. No ghost ever went into the outside on purpose. Well, I'm going to look around and see if Finn is here, Kaz said. He swam toward the children's room. Claire closed her book and put it back inside her bag. I don't think he is, she said, hoisting the bag onto her shoulder, but I'll help you look, just in case. Finn? Kaz called as he swam up one of the aisle of the bookshelves and down another. Claire looked high, low, and all around the room. Finn, are you here? Kaz and Claire searched the children's room, the fiction room, and the nonfiction room. No Finn. We can try upstairs if you want, Claire said. That's where I live. Claire led Kaz up the spiral staircase. So here they are. There's Claire and Kaz, and they're going up to where she lives. This is our living room, Claire said, rounding out a corner, and that's our kitchen over there. She pointed. Both of those rooms had strange things in them, things Kaz had never seen before. But he didn't take the time to ask Claire about those things now. He was more interested in finding his brother. Oh, I hope he finds him. Claire led Kaz down a narrow hallway. This is my parents' office, she said, flinging open a door. And that's my bedroom over there, and my grandma's bedroom, and the bathroom, and my parents' bedroom, living room, kitchen, office, bedroom, fiction room, nonfiction room, children's room, craft room. This library had completely different rooms than the old schoolhouse had, and there was so much stuff here. What do these solids do with all this stuff? Kaz wondered as he paddled after Claire. Finally, they reached the room at the end of the hall. This is the turret room, Claire said. It's my favorite room in the whole library. She walked to the center of the room and turned a circle. The room was round, not square, and very small. It had windows all around, a fuzzy rug on the floor, a small bookcase below one of the windows, and a rocking chair. The black cat that Kaz had seen earlier was curled up in the rocking chair. It looked up and meowed angrily at Kaz. Despite what Grandpop said about solid animals, Kaz had no doubt that this cat could see him. And the cat clearly didn't like what it saw. So here they are in the turret room, in that circular room. Oh, Thor, Claire said as she bent to pick him up. Don't be mean. This is Kaz. He's friendly. Claire waved Thor's paw at Kaz. Kaz tried to smile at Thor, but he wasn't sure he liked Thor any better than Thor liked him. Thor meowed again, then leaped out of Claire's grasp and padded away. Kaz sighed. They'd searched the entire library, but they hadn't found Finn. Maybe Claire was right. Maybe Finn was really gone. And maybe Beckett had somehow sneaked past them in the craft room. Beckett probably was the first ghost these solid children had seen. He was the only other ghost in the library. Wasn't he? All right, so that's the end of chapter 5, and now we are going to go to chapter 6. More searching. Ooh, maybe this is the chapter that they find him. There's one more place we haven't looked for your brother, Claire said, as Kaz drifted over to the window and gazed into the outside. It was getting dark out there. Kaz turned. Where? Where Beckett went. Behind that bookcase in the back of the craft room. Claire said, I think there's a secret room back there. I've seen Beckett go back there a lot. But like he told you before, I can't get in there. There's no door or anything. You think Finn could be in there? Kaz said hopefully. I think you should go find out. Kaz agreed. But there was one problem. I'm not very good at passing through walls, he admitted. Oh, Claire said. Well, is your brother good at it? Kaz almost laughed. Finn is good at everything. Then all you have to do is stand or... She glanced down at Kaz's feet, which hovered a few inches off the ground. Float in front of the bookcase and call his name. If he hears you calling him, he'll come out, won't he? I don't know, Kaz said. I've been calling him for an hour. Maybe he hasn't heard you, said Claire. Or maybe he's hiding from you, like a game. Like hide and seek, Kaz thought. Finn loved hide and seek. But this wasn't a time for games. Kaz and Finn's haunt were gone. Mom, Pops, Grandmom, Grandpop, Little John, and Cosmo were all gone. If Finn was here, he and Kaz had to stick together. Kaz swam down the stairs, across the entryway, into the craft room, and all the way to the bookcase at the back of the room. Finn, he called. It's me, Kaz. Are you back there, Finn? Kaz waited. Finn did not appear. Finn, Kaz said again. He turned his ear toward the bookcase and listened. He didn't hear anything. Kaz stared at the bookcase. Passing through a wall was something almost every ghost could do. Even Little John could do it. There was no reason Kaz shouldn't be able to do it too. He stuck out his finger and slowly moved it toward the bookcase. No! As much as he wanted to, he just couldn't bring himself to step through the wall of books. Finn would have to come to him, if he was even back there. Truth is, Finn could be anywhere. He could be hiding in some secret room behind the bookcase. He could be hiding someplace else in the library, or he could be miles away from here. The entryway seemed to be the exact center of the library, so Cam swam back in there. Then he yelled as loud as he could so Finn would hear him no matter where he was. No games, Finn! If you're in this library, come out right now. He paused to take a breath and then added, I have to tell you what happened to our haunt. I have to tell you about Mom, Pops, and Little John. And I have to tell you about Cosmo. So here's a picture of Kaz at the bookcase first trying to step out. Kaz waited and waited and waited some more. Finn did not appear. Kaz's shoulders sagged. Claire slowly walked over to him and tried to touch his shoulder, but her hand passed right through him. Ah, Kaz said. Don't do that. What? Claire asked. What did I do? You made your hand pass through me. I don't like that. It makes me feel funny. Huh? Claire said. It just makes me feel cold. She pulled out her book and wrote that down. While she was writing, Kaz said, I guess you were right earlier. Finn's not here. Beckett must be the ghost all those kids saw earlier. That was big because he always called them solids before. Probably, Claire said. She strolled over to the big plant where the kids had said they'd seen the ghost. But you know what? I've never actually seen him glow. I didn't see him today, and I didn't see him any of those other days either. So, Kaz wasn't sure what she was getting at. So, I can't prove that it was Beckett, Claire said. A good detective doesn't stop until she has proof. Maybe you and I should keep working on this case until we can prove that Beckett is the library ghost. Okay, Kaz said with a shrug. What do we do? I don't know, Claire said. She stared at the wall behind the plant as though she might find the answer there. After a little while, she turned back to Kaz. Detectives, like my parents, look for fingerprints and stuff when they want to know who did something. Do ghosts leave fingerprints? Kaz looked at his fingers. I don't think so. What about other evidence? Claire asked. What's evidence? Kaz asked. Stuff that links a suspect to a crime, Claire replied. Fingerprints, footprints, clothing fibers, DNA. This is where the ghost was last seen, so this is our crime scene. Beckett is our #1 suspect. So if we could find something that belongs to him, then we could prove that he's the library ghost. She walked all around the plant. I don't know, Kaz said. I don't think ghosts have any of that stuff. Claire peered closely at each of the leaves. She picked one up and looked at it underneath. Claire, Grandma Karen entered the room. She carried a box of... Kaz wasn't sure what was all that stuff in the box. What are you doing? Okay, so here's Claire, looking at the leaves for evidence. Grandma Karen and Kaz. Claire gulped. Nothing, she said, backing away from the plant. It doesn't look like nothing. Grandma Karen shifted the box from one hip to the other. She glanced around like she didn't want anyone to hear her. And then she leaned close to Claire and whispered, Are you trying to find the library ghost? Claire looked at Kaz. Kaz couldn't stop staring at the pink streak in Claire's grandma's hair. Listen to me, Claire, Grandma Karen said. Ghosts like to be left alone. If you don't bother them, they don't bother you. Stop teasing me, Grandma. I know you don't believe in ghosts. What makes you think I don't believe in ghosts? Grandma Karen asked. Claire studied her grandma. You mean you do believe in ghosts? That's a conversation for another day, Grandma Karen said as she took Claire by the hand and steered her towards the stairs. Right now, it's closing time. Why don't you go upstairs and get ready for bed? I'll be in to tuck you in as soon as I've shut down all the computers, turned out the lights, and locked the front door. Fine, Claire said with a heavy sigh. Grandma Karen went into the nonfiction room. You heard my grandma, Claire said to Kaz. I have to go to bed. What's go to bed? It's what we say when we go to sleep. Don't go sleep. I don't know. I don't think so, said Kaz. There was another word he didn't know. Sleep. Huh? Claire said as she pulled out her book. Ghosts don't sleep, she said as she wrote. And they don't leave fingerprints either. I forgot to write that down earlier. Kaz wished he had some way to keep track of everything he was learning about solids. Will you still be here when I wake up in the morning? Claire asked, stuffing her book back into her bag. Kaz shrugged. Probably, he said. Where would I go? And if he went anywhere, he'd have to go back into the outside, and Kaz certainly did not want to do that. Good, Claire smiled. Then I'll see you in the morning. We'll continue our investigation then. She trotted up the stairs. A few minutes later, the main floor of the library went dark, and Grandma Karen went upstairs, too. Kaz was alone. Oh, it's the end of our chapter. Okay, so that was chapters 5 and 6. Next time, we will read chapters 7 and 8. And yeah, and then I think we'll just have the last 2 to end with. So I hope you guys are loving this. I'm so excited. I can't wait to figure out if was that really Beckett or was it Finn or another ghost? Like, what's going on? All right. Okay, until next time. Bye.